What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to do a tool review on this 1/2" impact wrench by Aircat. Now, impact wrenches are very important. It's a great part of your toolbox, especially if you're a technician, especially if you're starting out technician. Now, before I go over this tool review, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of automotive and mechanical type stuff. Check out some of my other videos and some tool reviews. So let's get into this. So right off the bat, looking at the gun, some cool things about it. There is a grease fitting on the front of the gun, which a lot of the guns have that, and you need a grease gun like this, and you can shoot some grease into there. That's going to keep the gun lasting longer, which is pretty awesome. So there's that. The handle itself is actually very comfortable. There is some grips on here. Now it feels like the red part of the gun is a little bit rubbery, and this black part is a little more slippery, but there is texture to it, and it's more like a hard plastic, which is pretty nice. And the gun in my hand feels pretty well balanced. It's not hard to hold for a good amount of time like this. It's a little on the heavy side compared to some guns, but it's not too bad. It's actually pretty comfortable. Now if I compare this gun to this gun, this is a Mac version of the Thunder gun. I'm sure you've all seen the Thunder gun or versions of it. It's basically an Ingersoll Rand body with components. The internals are pretty much the same. Now they have the grease fitting on the back. Now if I feel this gun, this is not as balanced as well. It's very nose tippy, which compared to this is a lot lighter. Right off the bat, it is lighter than this gun. Size wise, it's shorter, which is nice. So I'm just showing you this gun just for reference, so if you wanted to see about the size of it and stuff. The trigger, I like this for a reverse action. It's actually pretty nice to be able to do that, whereas some guns, it's harder to move your hand back here to do that. Most of the time you have to use two hands, which if you don't have to use two hands, it's going to save you a lot of time. Now when I first saw that, I thought, oh, that was cool, but they didn't have one on the other side for lefties, and I was a little bit like, oh, that's too bad. But if you look at it, there is a little spot. You take a screwdriver and this comes off, the little handle, and it goes on the other side, and there you go for your lefties, which is awesome. The exhaust is on the bottom, so the air pressure comes in, it goes through the gun, comes out the bottom, which is nice. It's not going to be blowing in your face, it's just going to be going down, whereas some other guns have the exhaust in the front, so while you're working, if you have some dust or something, it's going to be blowing dust into your face, which isn't good. The rest of it pretty much looks like a regular 1/2" impact gun, which is nice. Take a socket, put it on, nice and easy. Holds the socket good. Alright, so I haven't tried it out yet, so let's try it out. Alright, so I'm going to give this a try. Take some lug nuts off, see how that goes. Reverse is up. Wow. That's pretty impressive. That's awesome. It's quick. Put those lug nuts back on. Let's try putting these down a little bit. Wow, I like it. So that was just a little bit of variable trigger. But if you go full trigger, it's really quick. That's cool. Alright, I know torque sticks are bad, but I'm going to tighten them up with a torque stick. Let's see how it sounds. Feels really powerful. So far it's really good. I really like it. I'm gonna take it to work with me, use it for a couple days, and get back to you. So I want to put this gun to the test. I don't have any front end components to loosen or tighten. I really don't want to loosen anything on my truck or anything at this time. But I do have this spare hub and axle and nut. Sometimes axle and nuts are some of the hardest to get off. You really need a really good gun to get them off sometimes. And you can abuse them a little bit. And this is junk anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I want to just give this a go. I don't think this nut's tight, so I'm going to tighten it first. Alright, now loosen it. Comes off pretty good. Now I didn't really want to do a battle between the two guns, but I don't know any other way to show you how well this gun works than to battle it out a little bit. So I'm going to tighten this as tight as I can. Actually, let's start with medium tight first. So there's a low setting right there. So we'll tighten that down. Now obviously if this was on the car and you could have a pry bar through there, it might be a little bit better, but I'm doing the best I can. So then, take this gun and see how well it loosens. It took a little bit to get it loose. I'll take this gun, tighten it down. Alright, so that's all the way tight with the snap-on gun. Now let's try loosening it with the Aircat. See how it goes. And it really didn't struggle at all. Came right off. I wish I could check the torque, how much it torques it down to and stuff, but I don't have the ability to do that. So it's as tight as it goes with the Aircat. And we'll try to loosen it with the Aircat. It struggled a little bit, but really not that bad. I was hoping I could get one of these guns to not be able to loosen it, but that's not the case so far. Let's see with this gun if I can even tighten it any more. If I can mark. The crane's not going to work. Alright, if I can mark this, just see if I can get this to move at all with the other gun. My compressor kicked on. Let me see one more time. I'll see if I can get any more movement out of it. Now, again, I tightened it with the Aircat as much as possible. Now I'm going to just see if I can tighten it any more with any of these other guns. Nope, not with that one. Now with this one. Nope. It's not moving at all. Now let's try the Aircat. See if I can get any more movement out of it. No. That's as tight as it's gonna go. So that's extremely tight. Let's see how the Aircat does removing it. Still took it off. Nice. So the little test I did with the spindle nut on that hub bearing, between all of these, this is definitely the most powerful. Now these are older, they are broken in. You could claim this is brand new, so hopefully it would be more powerful, but that's pretty ridiculous for what we did, what we were competing against. So I'm pretty impressed. All right, I really like it. I've used it for a couple days now, and it's done everything I've wanted it to do. Before I get into everything I like about it, I gotta give you some negative things. A couple things that don't bother me but might bother someone else. The first thing I can think of is the settings. The trigger settings, you have one reverse, which most guns only have one reverse. You only have two settings for the forward. You have the low setting and then the high setting, which I never turn my gun down to low. I just normally use the variable trigger, and that's normally what I use. If any of you guys are turning the triggers down or the settings down, leave me a comment below, because I'm pretty sure no mechanics are actually doing that. But I guess if you needed to, just turn it down to the low setting. It'd probably be good enough. So that might bother some people, doesn't bother me. The other thing is, now I have large hands and it fits really comfortable in my hand. You have this little lip on the end that's actually going to help when you're using it and stuff. If you had extra large hands, I feel like it would fit also, but I feel like if you had extra large hands, that's going to be uncomfortable, that grip. But doesn't bother me, but might bother someone else. So those are the negatives. They're not that bad. It's not the lightest gun in the world. It is very light for the amount of power that it has, which it's about 1 pound lighter than this gun, and it's 2 pounds lighter than this gun. So I'm happy with the adjustable trigger with one finger. You don't have to use your other hand. The trigger does feel good. I'm happy with the exhaust. Happy with the size of the gun. If you compare it to the other guns, it's a lot smaller, which is nice. And the vibrations, it does feel like there's less vibrations going through your arm and stuff while you're using it. Vibrotherm, and I think Aircat's big thing is quiet, and it's definitely quiet. I really like it. The other thing I really like about it is the price. This gun is about half the price of these guns. These guns were pretty expensive, and for the price, it really does the job. I really like it. So if you enjoyed this tool review video, please hit that like button. That actually helps me out. If you need any more information about Aircat tools or this impact wrench, check the description and stay tuned. Check out some of my other videos in the future. Thanks, guys.